You said yes when you wanted to say no. And now you were sitting there feeling drained, maybe even a little frustrated with yourself, wondering why you keep doing this. That feeling is more common than you might think. A lot of people experience exactly what you are experiencing. You care about how others feel. You notice when someone is disappointed or uncomfortable, and because you notice, you often adjust yourself to make things easier for them. That is not a weakness. That is actually a sign that you are paying attention to the people around you. Here's why this happens. When you are someone who is naturally aware of other people's emotions, you pick up on small signals, a change in someone's tone, a slight shift in their expression. Your mind processes these signals quickly, often without you even realizing it. And then, almost automatically, you respond. You try to smooth things over. You say yes to avoid tension. You give more than you have because you do not want anyone to feel bad. This response is not random. It usually develops over time, often starting when you were young. Maybe you grew up in a home where keeping the peace felt important. Maybe you learned early that being helpful meant being valued. Or maybe you simply have a natural ability to sense what others need. None of these things are problems on their own. They're actually qualities that can make you a thoughtful and caring person. But here's where it gets complicated. When you focus so much on how others feel, you can lose track of how you feel. You start saying yes out of habit, not out of choice. You start giving from an empty cup. And over time, you might begin to feel invisible in your own life, like your needs do not matter as much as everyone else's. This is where boundaries come in. And I want to be clear about something. Having boundaries does not mean you stop caring about people. It does not mean you become cold or selfish. Boundaries are simply a way of recognizing that you are also a person with limits. You have energy that can run out. You have feelings that deserve space. You have needs that are just as real as anyone else's. One thing that can be helpful to notice is the difference between wanting to help and feeling like you have to help. When you genuinely want to do something for someone, it usually feels lighter. There's a sense of choice in it. But when you feel like you have to, there is often a heaviness underneath, a quiet resentment, a sense of pressure. That heaviness is information. It is your mind telling you that something is off. Another thing worth noticing is how you feel after you say yes to something. If you feel relieved and content, that is usually a good sign. But if you feel tired, annoyed, or like you just gave away something you needed, that is also information. You do not have to act on it right away, but just noticing it is a step toward understanding yourself better. It can also be useful to remember that other people are more capable than we sometimes assume. When you rush in to fix things or prevent discomfort, you are often taking on responsibility that is not really yours. Most people can handle a little disappointment. They can adjust. They can find another solution. Trusting others to manage their own feelings is not unkind. It is actually a form of respect. Learning to hold space for both your care for others and your care for yourself takes time. It is not something that happens overnight. And it does not require you to become a different person. You can still be warm. You can still be generous. You can still be the kind of person who notices when someone else is struggling. But you can also be the kind of person who pauses before saying yes, who checks in with yourself, who recognizes that your presence in your own life matters. You are not doing anything wrong by caring about people. And you are not doing anything wrong by needing limits. Both of those things can be true at the same time. That is not a contradiction. That is just what it means to be human.